2, 1, and up.
Making the real hustle is one of the most challenging jobs in television. Con games are a matter of trial and error, and we've had our fair share of both. People often ask, is every scam successful? Are we ever recognized? Or have we been caught red-handed?
And the answer is yes, yes, and sometimes.
In this show, we're going to reveal what happens when scams go wrong.
On tonight's show, not one, but 2 guest hustlers get caught up in a crazy con gone wrong.
Want to buy some stamps, mate?
Me, I'm a massive fan.
Looks like Alex needs to go back to card trick school. And this mark is well and truly busted.
Do you have any, at any point, did you have any inkling that you were on a TV show?
Oh, that's absolutely. That's why I told you exactly what happens.
Every week, celebrities up for the challenge were invited to join the hustlers to see if they could cut it as con artists. Our stars featured in lots of successful scams across the series, but some of them didn't quite go to plan. In fact, some cons went so wrong that a couple of the most famous guest hustlers didn't even make it onto the show. One of the stars was undefeated world champion boxer Joe Calzaghe.
Obviously in boxing you have to use a lot of mind games and try and trick your opponent to believe you're even more confident than you really are. So hopefully I can use some of them qualities today and what I'm going to do, you know. I'm just going to enjoy this day and just do my best, and hopefully it's gonna work.
At first, things went normally for Joe as he met up with Paul for the traditional hustle briefing. But little did he know, things were soon to go horribly wrong.
All right.
How you doing?
Good to meet you. Welcome to Glasgow.
It's good to be here.
It's not the greatest part of Glasgow, but it does have character. You're gonna have a fight.
Am I?
Oh, well, actually, you're not. None of us are going to fight you. It's going to be a fight between a very dodgy pawnbroker, a fine arts dealer, a very sophisticated type of guy, and in the middle is going to be you.
Okay.
All right, let's take a walk. Really good to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
Now, listen, if there's a problem, anything kicks off, you're on your own.
Okay.
So far, so good. Hopefully, Joe won't be pulling any punches today in The Stamp Collector. For the first part of this scam, the hustlers were operating in a luxury hotel in the city centre. Joe was playing the part of an eccentric stamp collector, Mr. Phillips. To avoid him being recognised, the hustlers brought along a cunning disguise. Fake facial hair, check. Fake leg brace, check. And a wheelchair, check. Joe and Polly waited in the hustle van as Alex got into position. He was posing as a well-heeled businessman, selling off a top-of-the-range laptop.
Can I get you gentlemen a drink?
And this guy was here to buy, making him the mark. But this scam's about to go horribly wrong before it even gets started. Busted. Take 2. This time, this guy's the mark.
Can I get you a drink? Would you like something to drink?
I'll just have a glass of water or something like that. Have a Diet Coke.
Diet Coke and a glass of water? Okay, let's just get those three.
He thinks he's here to do a bit of business with Alex. But this scam's actually about buying a rare vintage stamp.
Sorry about that. I was going to ask you a favour. I'm meant to be having a meeting here with another person. I'm buying a stamp. Do you know anything about stamps?
My dad collects them, actually.
Really?
Oops, that could be a bit of a problem. Alex pushes on regardless.
Well, I've sort of been in collectibles and things like that for years, but I've never dabbled in stamps until recently, where we kind of realised there's a lot of, you know, some of them are worth a lot of money. So this guy who's coming, he's got one of these.
So apart from selling off computers, Alex is also dabbling in the vintage stamp world, and he's also here to meet a well-known collector who's selling an extremely rare stamp.
10 years ago, went for almost £20,000. So I've been dying to get my hands on one, and he's got one. But he's going to be here any minute, and I don't want him to think that I've gone away. He's in a wheelchair. He's got a broken leg. He's Mr. Phillips. If he comes in and you see him, would you let me know that I'll be back in 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
Yeah, if you see him, perfect.
Yeah, but listen, I'll pop off, so I don't want to keep you guys too long. All right, cheers.
Alex heads off to get the laptop, leaving the Mark to look out for the eccentric stamp collector.
Not a f***ing stamp collector.
But hang on a minute.
This feels very much like
Oh, my dad collects stamps. Oh, opinionated. Oh, I know all about that.
what do you call that programme?
Well,
Guess what his dad does?
I know, we just heard.
Real Hustle?
Busted. The Marks recognised Alex. Sadly, Joe Calzaghe didn't get to deliver the knockout punch, and the scam went nowhere. The producer broke the bad news.
Oh, really?
Anybody want some stamps?
But keep watching to find out if the Hustlers did finally manage to sell someone that priceless stamp. Because of the success of The Real Hustle and the fact that it's been going for 11 series, what we just saw isn't the only time the Hustlers were recognised or rumbled.
Do you know him?
No, I think I recognise him.
Oh, really?
I think I recognise you also, though.
Really? All right, then. If you've got any, like, cash on you that you could give to me, otherwise...
Where's your friends?
So I'll go away.
I know your face.
You know my face?
It's a hustle, yeah.
Thanks anyway.
You know what the girl for the Real Hustle?
Oh, everyone says that.
After hundreds of scams, recognition became a real problem for the Hustlers, and they had to come up with clever ways of keeping their identity secret. Over the years, Paul, Alex, and Jess had to become masters of disguise. They played fake shakes, hippy-dippy stall holders, high rollers, security men, mechanics, the long arm of the law, and dodgy down and outs. They've even resorted to dressing up as animals to avoid being rumbled. And Jess? Well, she's been blonde, dark, curly, jet set, and veiled. In fact, she's been everything from a cleaner to a wag, with stints as a barmaid, a charity worker, and a cat in between. Mistress of the quick change, she's even been pregnant a few times. Now that's above and beyond the call of duty, even for a hustler. When hustlers go out, they don't take money. They take prop bets. The proposition bet has only one rule, and that's that the hustler always wins.
Action.
Yeah, they might always win, but sometimes, just sometimes, it didn't always go exactly as planned.
Those are the biggest win on my face.
Here's some bits they didn't want you to see.
So, I've got a test of skill. You've got to balance the 50p on your finger, your index finger. Now, you've got to get the card out from under the 50p without the 50 falling to the table. And you can only use one finger, right? Anybody can do this, I'll buy them a drink. Because this is hard. Ready? Just say action.
Look at that, look how elegantly and beautifully I handle these. It's like, all right. What'd you say?
Hold on.
That's about the most insulting thing anybody's ever said, I have to be honest. Whoops.
I do want to sip that, but it's got bubbles in it. It's a bit dangerous. I'd be like...
Of course, by the way, I didn't mention the fact that if I do get it, you have to go mental.
Yeah.
Take 27. Okay, ready? I'm just going to sit there until one of you gets me a whiskey.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Earlier in the stamp collector, filming had to be abandoned when two Marks recognised Alex. Weeks of research and planning went down the drain, and guest hustler Joe Calzaghe didn't even make it out of the van. And that wasn't the first time they tried it. Here's what happened a few weeks earlier with another special guest. That time, it was this guy who was the Mark.
Apologies for the delay.
Luckily, He didn't recognise Alex, so the next part of the scam kicked in. He'd come to pick up a laptop. Alex told him he had to pop out to collect it, but asked the Mark to keep a lookout for someone else he was due to meet. A stamp collector. Yep, that's right, in a wheelchair. Funny that. And here he comes. In fact, it's someone even more likely to be recognised than the hustlers. It's only Sid Owen.
Excuse me, I thought, you know, being in Scotland, all right, maybe they don't watch EastEnders as much. And everywhere I went, I just got recognised. So I thought, how the hell am I going to convince people that I'm someone else? It's because I don't want to let anyone down. So fingers crossed that I get it done, and so we don't have to work this afternoon. Right, is it Ian Steele? Is it Daisy? Is it Ian Steele? Right.
Mr. Steele?
Yes.
Yeah.
Your name?
Sorry, I'm Gary.
Oh, hi, how are you?
The crazy disguise worked a treat. The Mark didn't suspect a thing, so finally it was all systems go for Stamp Collector Part 2. For the meantime, let's join in as everyone is waiting for Alex to come back.
Do you want to have a...
So are you into stamps?
No, not at all, no.
That's handy.
This is my favourite. Look at this. I think this is worth a few thousand. See the blue one? Oh, look, this is 1966 as well. World Cup, you know.
The Mark's looking fairly bemused as our next character turns up. It's Paul in a faintly ludicrous pork pie hat, posing as a rival stamp dealer.
Ah, how are you, Robbie?
How are you?
Good.
Good to see you.
Hi there.
Outside.
He obviously has a good relationship with Mr. Phillips, and it turns out he's also here to buy a particular stamp. But it seems like it's the same stamp Alex is interested in.
Yeah. Is this it?
So we got the goods here.
Can
You
I,
got some money for me, have you?
Well, yeah. You know, I spoke to someone. I think I can probably move it.
Really?
You know, probably looking at about $1,000 to you.
$1,000?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you know, I've got to make something.
Okay.
Paul's already offering a lot of cash for it, and he seems keen to close the deal quickly.
Display. I'm happy to close it now. You want to do it now?
Well,
I've got
that's why I'm
cash.
here. Yeah, that's
All
why I'm
right.
here.
We do have another meeting the week.
Right,
Ian,
okay.
we should talk to Ian as well.
Yeah,
Well, he's
coming back.
on his way, isn't he?
Well, it should be. You said it wasn't going to be too long.
Polly reminds Mr. Phillips that he's here to sell that stamp to Alex, not Paul, who's just happened to wander right into the middle of their meeting.
Because I think we're talking about...
Right on cue, the Mark's phone rings. It's Alex.
I'm just checking in, really. Is Mr. Phillips arrived?
He's paying cash as well.
Ian, yes, he is. He's here just now. Yes, and my colleagues arrived as well.
Well, that's the plan.
Oh, who's that?
A chap called Rob.
Oh, okay. That's not good for me, because obviously he's a competitor and he's quite a shark.
The Mark tells him that Mr. Phillips has arrived, but there's someone else here too, and he seems to be muscling in on the deal.
Ian, hi.
I was just wondering if you could meet us on the grill on the corner. Why don't we meet at the grill on the corner?
Nice. Yeah, yeah.
Let's meet on the
Okay.
grill on the corner in half an hour, shall we?
Perfect. Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Right.
I don't want to...
Thank you, Gary, and apologies again.
Okay, no problem.
Bye.
It's no problem. Cheers.
Seems like Alex can't make it back to the hotel quickly enough and has asked Mr. Phillips to meet him in a nearby restaurant. The Mark agrees to go along so that he can finally pick up that laptop. Paul's not invited, but tags along anyway. Truth is, he's here to make sure the Mark comes along for the next part of the scam. So the Mark and Mr. Phillips are at the restaurant, waiting for Alex. Dodgy dealer Paul is still hanging about like a bad smell, desperate to nab the stamp from under Alex's nose.
If you want to do the deal right now, I can go to 1,500.
I think I should just wait for Ian.
He ups his offer to £1,500, but Mr. Phillips is still keen to wait for Alex. After all, he's a gentleman of his word, and that's only fair. And here comes Alex.
Hey, how you doing?
Ian? Yeah.
Yes.
Go on.
Right. My assistant's going to...
Apologising yet again to the Mark for the delayed laptop, he then gets straight down to his other business, buying that very rare stamp.
Can I see the...
Yes?
Okay. This is the
inquired
one
about,
that I inquired about. Yeah, that's the one that I'd very much like to
Can I ask what you're interested in paying him?
I would say I'm happy to make you an offer here of 1,500 if that's acceptable.
1,500?
Yeah.
The stamp's a cracker, and he's happy to offer £1,500 matching Paul's offer.
Well, hold on. I mean, that's the same offer I made while we were waiting for you, wherever you were.
Well, I had to go out on business that I have with these gentlemen, so you know, 1,500 would be the deal. I could do it cash.
Well, I can do it cash.
You can do cash?
Absolutely.
Well, cash.
I'm here prepared to do cash.
It's all getting a bit ugly now. In fact, Paul starts an all-out bidding war and pulls out a massive wad of cash.
If you're serious about selling.
Well, I've come here to see you, haven't I?
Yeah. I can give you 3,000 in cash.
Right. Okay.
Today. And that's it.
He ups his offer to £3,000, which he puts in an envelope.
All right, could I just ask, with all due respect, because I feel that I set up this meeting and it's kind of been hijacked a little bit.
I agree, but we've done a lot of business together over the years.
And we've never done any business.
And there's plenty more business to come. Can you just give us a couple of minutes? Is that okay? You got £3,000 there, yeah?
Well, look, my money's on the table.
Right, okay. Just give us a minute and then
all right,
we can talk to Ian and...
I don't know this guy, but my money's always been good.
Okay.
Okay?
Cool.
Paul then goes outside, leaving a very stunned table.
Oh, that was a bit intense, I thought.
Yeah, well, he's a bit pushy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Alex now goes in for the kill.
I think £3,000 is a very good offer.
Right.
But I don't think you might realise the value of what you have.
Sounds interesting.
It is interesting. Do you know what the last one of these, which came up on auction, sold, and it was sold in about 1990?
No.
Okay. As you can see, it's got the same cancellation mark, which is what makes these of high value. This fetched £19,500. So I don't want to see you enter into a business deal where you're going to lose a lot of money.
Right.
Okay.
What's the bottom line?
If this sold for 20,000 in 1990, it is not illogical to presume that we can get 30,000
yeah.
or more. So if I give you 1,500 today, and I give you 15% of the sale price, then you stand to make considerably more than £3,000.
Yeah, but I need cash.
Mr. Phillips likes Alex's deal, but he's adamant he wants £3,000 in cash before he leaves the restaurant.
But you do realise that what I'm offering you is a little bit more, right?
But that's what I've come for.
Okay.
Alex only has 1,500 quid. Where on earth could he get another £1,500 at such short notice?
Can you give me 2 minutes? Yep, 2 minutes. Well, the gentleman here, he still wants £3,000.
Alex now turns his full attention to the mark.
What I was going to ask, I have 1,500. I believe you carry 1,500 as well?
That's the cash he's brought for the laptop.
If I can get an advance payment, so to speak, done, and I'll make it worth your while, but I'll offer you 5% of the sale price.
He's going to buy it anyway, so it needs to be a bit more in it for me. You're offering the 5%.
How much would you like?
10%.
10%?
This guy drives a hard bargain.
That was a bit easy.
10%. I know I can get a lot of money for this stamp.
No, you're actually right.
Well, I know what I like, and I like what I see right now. Okay, we've struck a deal. We're going to give you 3,000 cash. Okay. So we pay this man? 15.
So the scam has gone to plan. The Mark hasn't recognised the Hustlers or Sid Owen, and he's just handed over all that cash for his share of a worthless stamp. But this scam hasn't gone to plan. In fact, something has just gone terribly wrong. Something even the Hustlers weren't expecting. Alex takes a closer look at the Mark's cash. It's clear from his face that he knows something isn't quite right.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But ever the professional, he puts the money away and leaves, together with Polly and Sid. But on his way out, he's talking to the show's producers over his radio mic.
Guys, that money looks faked, that money, okay? I think we're being done by him right now. That is fake money that he gave us.
The producer goes over to speak to the Hustlers and examine the money.
We've been given paper. This guy's doing something. I looked at him straight in the face and he smiled. That is paper.
There's no question, it's all fake. But what on earth was going on in what turned out to be the strangest scam in 11 series of The Real Hustle? Had the Mark been unlucky at the cash machine, or could he be trying to hustle the hustlers? Alex, Paul, and the show's producers went in to find out.
Where did you get this? Where did you print this?
Print what?
This one, yeah.
Gary, we suspect you know you're being filmed for a TV show. The objective of the show is to take your money and then give it back to you.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Everything you gave us was fake money.
If I asked you to look at this note, would you say it's a genuine note?
I couldn't tell you.
Do you think that is a real hologram bit there? I mean, you realise why we're asking you this question is because it's legally a very murky area for us to be seen to be handling fake. I mean, I instantly, when I saw this, that's why I looked at you for a brief second and you kind of had a little twinkle in your eye. But that was instantly fake to me.
Paul gives the Mark the benefit of the doubt.
Everybody completely understands this has all caught you a little bit off guard because, you know, the idea was we would leave you, you would find out that, you know, you'd bought a rubbish stamp that wasn't worth anything and everybody was gone. Then we'd come back and we'd give you your money back. But because you've given us that, it's kind of changed from being a TV show to being a bit of a problem for us.
I just need you to understand that when you handed over illegal money, right, and believe you me, we've tried to use counterfeit cash as good as this one, and we're not allowed to use it on the show.
The Mark's still looking puzzled, but Paul lays it on the line.
This is kind of exactly the type of thing we try and teach people not to take.
So that we're kind of in a way trying to protect you
No, I know
from
what you're
this.
saying, I know what you're saying, right, guys. Okay, hands up.
So tell me what was going on and then we'll understand.
What was going on? I wasn't totally 100% convinced. I actually didn't believe the deal was real. I didn't think the laptop was worth £1,500.
Right.
To be honest with you.
So he claimed he'd smelt a rat all along. Seems like he simply didn't believe a second-hand laptop could be worth such a high asking price. Thinking the deal was well dodgy from the start, rather than hand over genuine cash, he decided to use a pile of fake notes he'd brought with him, just in case he was being ripped off.
Did you have at any point, did you have any inkling that you were on a TV show?
Can I see that?
And it turned out that it wasn't only the Mark who was being cautious. He later claimed in a national newspaper that his 13-year-old daughter thought the setup was bogus all along, warning her dad, "It sounds like you're on The Real Hustle." Of course, Alex and Paul were more than aware that it can be a criminal offence to be in possession of counterfeit banknotes. The event was reported to the police, but despite carrying out a series of inquiries, in the end, it was decided there was no case to answer. So did the Mark hustle the hustlers? Not this time. So scamming unsuspecting Marks out of their hard-earned cash can be a very risky business, and things don't always go to plan. Even well-seasoned con artists like the Real Hustlers get it wrong sometimes.
The thing is, have you got money on you as well? Put your money in here as well, and then you can just look after it all together. Is that okay?
This scam relied on Jess sneakily switching an envelope full of the Mark's cash for one stuffed with newspaper. Her bag had been expertly doctored with magnets for the con, but the eagle-eyed Mark noticed poor Jess fumbling with the bag, and it wasn't long before she was rumbled.
Excuse me.
Sorry, someone's going to come and talk to you actually on the TV show.
The key to this scam working was Alex managing to persuade the Mark to let him borrow her mobile phone. Not a massive ask, but despite Alex's best efforts, she was having none of it.
Let them know where I am. Oh, I can send a text, is that all right?
I would like, I don't mind, but...
Can I try?
Oh, no, dear, I've got
no money.
She admitted afterwards, however, that she'd had credit on her mobile all along. She just didn't trust Alex. Quite right too.
Excuse me, just found this ring.
It doesn't happen often, but sometimes random Marks just happen to be too well connected. In this scam, Jess was claiming she'd found a diamond ring outside this shop. Unfortunately, it turned out this guy was mates with the owner.
I know Jane's my friend, who's friends with the manager.
He even offered to call him.
Oh, wow. Oh, what, you've got their number?
That's definitely not what Jess was hoping to hear. In this con, the unsuspecting Mark thought he'd come to buy a cheap telly.
Well, give him a call.
But before he knew what was happening, he was being offered the deal of a lifetime. A fabulous £60,000 Aston Martin for just £5,000. Everything had gone without a hitch, and the hustlers were hiding upstairs, when Paul suddenly remembered he'd forgotten one tiny thing he was meant to do.
You know what, we forgot one detail. We didn't get the money. You didn't get the money? I did not get the money. Shut up. I just remembered. Sorry. My fault. I did not get the money.
When it comes to handing out hustling advice, it's probably best to leave it to the professionals.
The fake commercial...
And although it goes,
It's natural to want to help a damsel in distress, but
Make sure that you understand where the people are coming from, which could be Never Neverland. Right, I'll do it again.
A quick call to the... So the best advice...
that alone should send alarm bells ring. And if you're ever offered...
What's happened here is someone's parted with money to a complete stranger. I think. I can't remember what they've done, actually. Have they...
It's very difficult not to remain... No. Go back.
So that's that. This is the real hustle. The original real hustlers, Alex, Paul, and Jess, and new recruits Polly and Jazz, have scammed their last marks for now. And remember, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.